Carova.
Episode 2.
We're back. So this time we're actually recapping 3 days worth of activities. We've been extremely busy and trying to squeeze out time to put footage together and edit and do all that, and we've just been having too much fun. It's not a bad thing.
Nope, not a bad thing.
So that'll be a recap of Tuesday, Wednesday, and today, which is Thursday.
Yep.
So Tuesday, we wake up. Mom kills it with a bomb breakfast. We had peanut butter banana pancakes. Mm-hmm. We had sausage balls. It was delicious. They will now be in our Etsy. You guys can click our link. We'll mail sausage balls to you. No, I'm just kidding. But we had a wonderful breakfast. And then we decided to kind of just go explore again. So it started off by, we wanted to drive around the island and find a horse. We wanted to find some...
We were horse hunting.
Horse hunting. Well, she had a cowgirl hat on. We had a lasso. And we were trying to rope us a wild horse.
But we aren't supposed to touch them. There's a fine.
It was a... Anybody listening, that was a joke.
Total joke.
No, we wanted to go try to see if we could see some horses for the kids. Mm-hmm. So we went exploring. We kind of drove through the back half of the island, which is like there's like two main drags, Sand Fiddler and Sand Piper.
Mm-hmm.
They're the two main drags that run down Carova Island once you finally get down here on the beach. And then behind that is some more neighborhoods, and it kind of gets a little denser as far as like woods, and it's kind of like the redneck side over there. And so we cruised over there, and we actually had a horse walk right down the middle of the road in front of the truck. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the camera to show that to you guys because I was driving, and then there was another car, and we're all trying to navigate and not put the horse in any danger. But we ended up cruising, exploring, and then we actually pulled into a trail. Mm-hmm. We seen like a little area you could park, and it looked like a trail to walk.
A parking sign and a walkway, and we're like, turn around, let's go check that out.
Which turned out Hills Have Eyes style. So we started walking down the trail. Beautiful trail. I mean, we're walking. There was like a little creek in there and stuff. But then we get down there, and we're about halfway down, and I hear a crunch, and I turn around, and there's two random dudes behind us.
So, of course, I try and catch your attention to make sure you seen what I seen.
Yeah, 100%. But I had already seen them and prepped for that. But anyways, we were in no danger. But there was two guys that randomly popped up on us out of the woods, and there was no car in the parking lot, so we don't know where they came from.
That's the part that didn't make sense.
And we don't know where they went, but good times, always up for an adventure. And so after the trail, we took off into town. We stopped at the beach again.
But on the trail, I found moss.
She did find moss. She found a chunk of moss.
Really good moss, like super green moss, like thick. Like there's different types of moss, and this was good moss.
I'm no expert in moss, but according to my beautiful and intelligent wife, it's good moss. Therefore, good moss. I will die on that hill to defend her moss. And she insisted it comes back to Florida with us. So it is here in the kitchen at the Airbnb, and we will be bringing our moss back to Florida so she can plant it
home
on the back porch in a pot or whatever girls do. But it makes her heart happy, so it makes me happy. We're gonna stick with that story. And so then we went to head to town. As we told you guys in the last video, it's an 11-mile ride down the beach. So obviously every day on our way out, we usually stop somewhere on the beach, let the kids walk, look for seashells, enjoy the beach as we're passing through it. And we actually got to see a really cool truck that hauls like these huge tractors and things in, excavators. Because there's like erosion companies that kind of keep the place under wraps. And I was surprised with as bad as the sand is that those big trucks could get down this beach, but they don't run dualies. They run like big super single wide tires. They have air down systems mounted on the truck. It's just
neat to see.
From a guy's perspective, I'm like, I like when I see equipment and guys doing things right. But anyways, we left the beach. We ended up cruising to Kitty Hawk. Mm-hmm. And in Kitty Hawk, we went to the Wright Brothers Memorial and Museum, which was super fun. Mom learned everything there was to know about the Wright brothers, except for their name.
No, we didn't. I tested it. That's not true. I tested the kids after we left the little history museum part of it on the way out. Walking up the hill, I was testing the kids. I was like, okay, so what were the brothers' names? none of them could tell me.
Of course not, because kids, they're like, oh, sweet plane, all right, and then they move on to the next thing.
Story, bro.
Yeah, so Mom and I were trying to do our best to stop them and, try to
read the signs to them.
Yeah, learn the stuff that's going on. It's important. It's like important pieces of history. So, what was your favorite fact of the museum that you found?
So the brothers, Orville and Wilbur, they
ding,
got.
Ding,
ding. See, I do know the names. They got the majority of the credit for obviously the first flight and all the history behind it. But part I found interesting was the parents had passed away when the kids were decently young, to the point that the sister, Catherine, who I believe was 12 or 13 at the age when her parents passed, she ended up taking over like the homemaking and the care of the family. I think there was like 7 or 8 kids total.
Large family, yeah.
It was a big family. But they lived in Dayton, Ohio, and the brothers would come down here to Kitty Hawk to practice their flight and all the tweaks they had been making to their contraption at the time. And she would hold down the home front while they were gone, and then when they would get back, they would actually bounce ideas off of her. And they noted that she had several really good ideas and took part in like the ingenuity of it, I guess. And so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, so the sister was holding the fort down, but she was a pretty smart girl.
She was the only one to go off to college and get a college degree, and yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, there's always, with every story in history, there's always players that aren't necessarily like the main mentioned names that are probably, that particular piece of history wouldn't exist had the other person not existed or, had their input in that situation. But no, so we had the visitor center. The visitor center was cool. There was tons of like depictions and artifacts and original pieces, like chunks of like some broken props that broke during test flights. There was a big giant replica plane that we got to look at inside the museum, like in front of like an animated screen that kind of showed you the story and did all the stuff. As well as like little models of the planes, and there was a lot to learn, especially like the different iterations of like it starts in one phase, and then they add the elevator to the front to control pitch, and then they change the shape of the wings and all the different stuff that goes into it. So there was definitely a lot of knowledge to learn while we were there. But behind the visitor center was actually like artifacts or monuments, I should say, that showed like, hey, this is where the first flight ever took off from, and this is where they would test like this exact spot on the Earth. And then there was monuments showing like the distances at like test 1, test flight 2, test flight 3, and the first 3 were like boom, 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 and the 4th one was way out there. So Katie and I were joking about everybody kind of standing around like because they flipped a coin to see who would fly first.
Yeah. Which brother would be on the flight?
Yeah, who would have to ride the plane?
Yeah.
And that when that 4th one took off, that's what we were laughing about.
And he kept going and going. I bet the other brother was like chasing him down the...
Hey, no, come back. Let me back on there.
We made it.
Yeah, so that was cool. And then we left out of that visitor center area that had that. And then there's a kind of a pretty long walk that goes to like a big giant hill. Mm-hmm. And there's a huge monument / like watchtower that's at the top of that hill. So Mama and I's old thighs were burning pretty good.
Trying to haul up that hill.
Yeah. Mom's butt looked good going up the hill though. I'll insert that clip right here.
Oh, stop.
For you guys' enjoyment. And so we get to the top of the hill and we played, and the kids it was a really cool view. You could see the ocean off in the distance. And
it was pretty.
Yeah, it was super cool. We left off the monument, we went around, and there was a replica metal plane that Mom and the kids got to play on for a little bit, and some statues and stuff.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it really had a blast. It was worth doing for sure if you're ever in the area.
Yeah.
And then we left from there. We headed over to get some lunch. We stopped at a random place called Off the Wall Tap House. It was like a sports bar type place, and Mom got to try out a couple of like local hazies. Mm-hmm. She had shrimp tacos, seafood once again.
Yep, there's a theme.
There is definitely a theme. And the rest of us had like burgers, and we ordered a pretzel and beer cheese. So we had a good time.
That was yummy.
It was good.
That went fast.
I like the spicy mustard. Mm-hmm. We left the Off the Wall Tap House, and we ended up, like, Mom was on a hunt for a Carova hoodie. So anytime we travel somewhere, she wants a hoodie with that name on it. And so our closet is basically a giant globe. But she wanted a hoodie, so we had to track her down one. So we hit a couple shops, stopped by a few places, and she finally did find her hoodie. Along the way, we stopped and we got some ice cream from like a little ice cream joint that was on the water. It had like a boardwalk dock behind it, so we hung out there for a little while and kind of enjoyed the water and ate some ice cream. What do we have? Salted pretzel caramel. It's pretty good.
It was yummy.
Yeah. Then we came home. We spent the rest of the night here at the house. It was chill. We just relaxed. We watched a movie. Then Wednesday we woke up. And what did we do Wednesday, Mama? Oh, actually, take it back. At the end of Tuesday, after we left getting ice cream and going to the hoodie shop, we cruised. We were on our way home, and Brantley kept talking about wanting a kite. And so we had heard it enough all day, so we're like, you know what? Let's stop and check out some kites. And we went into Kitty Hawk Kites, and there was actually a lady working there. There's no chance she'll ever see this video, but if she ever does, you're amazing, and you're like the nicest human.
She was very informative.
Yeah,
I didn't understand what all went into kites and the different like sports kites and
types and techniques and all that. But she was very descriptive on teaching Brantley, because the young,
in particular.
Yeah, the littles had like the basic kites. You put them on a string, you raise them up,
Release
and then
it up. Yeah.
Brantley had got a sport kite, and so with the sport kite, it's a little harder to like get going, and it's got a lot more control and stuff. So she really, I appreciate her for that. She really got us going good.
Explained it.
Yeah. So then we came home and relaxed. But then Wednesday we woke up and the kids went out to the beach. They were on a mission to fly kites. We took all three of them out there. Amelia had a sea turtle kite, and Elliot.
Called Galaxy.
What's that?
It looked like a galaxy. She was coined Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I didn't even catch that part. And then Elliot had the Transformers, so he had Optimus Prime. He was pretty stoked about that. Yes. And Brantley had his sport kite, and all three of them were giving it hell until their hands and ears and feet got cold. It was like 39 or 40 degrees with wind coming off the water, so they got cold quick. And then the two littles decided they were going to get in the car and warm up, and Brantley sat out there for, I don't know, another what? Hour and a half he sat out there flying that thing.
He was dedicated to it.
He flew till his finger bled on that string.
He did. It did bleed.
Yeah, his string eventually like cut his finger. But anyways, he flew the heck out of it, and
he got good at it too.
Oh, he's doing loop-de-doos
and twirling and
yeah, all kinds of acrobatic stuff.
It was very interesting to watch. A lot of technique that went into it.
For sure. And then after kites, we decided we were just going to ride into town. We went and got some groceries, got some stuff for meals, and then we pretty much just cruised back after that. It was a mellow day for us.
Yeah, nice and chill.
And then so today we woke up. Mom cooked another delicious breakfast. This morning we had bacon, egg, and cheese bagels from scratch, but unfortunately I didn't video that because I was on a phone call for work and I was a little late to breakfast. And I was already feeling guilty, so I jumped my butt in the seat. When Mama's food's hot, you get on the table quick. And but no, we had bacon, egg, and cheese, and then the kids were begging for duck donuts because Mike Fend, if you're watching this, Mike, I appreciate you. He actually wrote me on Facebook and said, hey, if you're in the area, you need to go try out duck donuts. It's really, really, really good. And I mentioned it out loud, so the kids have been on a donut mission.
Are we going for donuts today? Is today donut day?
Every 5 seconds, actually. And so we were like, all right, after breakfast, we're going to get donuts. So we went to Duck Donuts. They're made fresh. It was amazing. Mikey didn't disappoint. I appreciate you, buddy.
It was really yummy.
It was really good. I had the peanut butter paradise. What'd you get?
I got like a maple glazed, they called it French
toast. Yeah.
It was yummy. Brantley got an Oreo. Elliot got just chocolate sprinkles, and Millie doesn't really like donuts.
That boy loves chocolate and sprinkles.
Yeah.
That's his thing. So yeah, we went there. Then we decided to bounce over. There was like a little fudge store, candy store next door. Mom loves maple fudge, and they didn't have maple, so big disappointment on that. But we rolled out of there, and we decided to kind of just go explore. We really didn't have a mission in sight. We ended up at the Kitty Hawk Pier. Pretty cool, but the pier was closed, so we couldn't go out on the actual pier. So we just kind of made the best of the situation, and we
detoured down to the beach and started walking.
100%. We walked the beach. We walked the 1/8 of a mile and just collected seashells and Elliot found a crab, Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs.
And
He was very dead, or big dead.
I said, how dead is he? He said, big dead. He's very old. So yeah, Mr. Krabs, we found him. We found a bunch of seashells. We kind of just enjoyed the walk and took in the scenery. It was warming up a little bit. We're up in the 50s now. And after that, we left out of there and we were just kind of cruising our way home. But on the way home, Mom says, hey, I really want to stop and get a cherry Coke. I said, okay, we'll stop and get you one. And they have these drive-through gas stations called brew-through. And it's just, if you're in Florida, like my people that are in Florida, you know, like on the way to New Smyrna, there's like that drive-through liquor store, gas station kind of. It's like that, just a little more intense. And the guy who was operating it was super cool.
He was very entertaining, charismatic, yeah.
He may have worked at Disney in a past life. Like
yeah, he gave those vibes. Roadworthy Pilsners.
From the brew through.
Yeah, let's go!
Yeah, he gave us some free stickers. He was interacting with the kids. It was
they rolled their windows down in the back.
Yeah, high-fiving and everything.
Yeah.
He was one of the better attractions of Carova, to be honest with you. I hope he sees this video one day.
Yeah.
We appreciate the heck out of you, dude.
No, but he had like a belt, like, because he was the biggest swag slinger of 2024 or something.
He had the highest retail sales out of all like locations in 49 years. So the company gave him like a big WWF belt. So he ran over to the other part of the store and brought it out for the kids to see. It was super, super cool.
That's what it is.
Who that is? That's me, baby.
#1 sales guy in all brew through.
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, he was so happy at his job and he was so good at it. It actually sparked a conversation for us to the kids, explaining like, you choose to be happy, and this dude is living his life. He chooses to be happy, man. You could tell that he just makes the best of any situation. So you love to be around people like
Happiness is a choice.
that. But no, we left the brew through, and then we just came home after that, didn't we?
Yep, came home.
Cruised the beach, came back to the house, and we ate some leftovers. Mama's been whipping up all these dinners. We had plenty of leftovers, so we crushed leftovers for lunch. And now the kids are outside playing in the sand, and we're just kind of relaxing. Mom's about to go read a book for a little bit. And other than that, that's a wrap. That catches you guys up to this point. We love you. Thanks for watching. We'll holler at you.